probably just need to be very clear, if someone's critical of the government or Albo, it does not necessarily mean that they want to see Dutton as PM. There are plenty of people, myself included, that would be more than happy to see the current government do better. Now with that out of the way, what the fuck was Albo thinking? For the love of David Boone, who thought it was a good idea for the PM to splash out on a multi-million-dollar seaside property 6 months or so out from the election. I mean, you might have heard Australia has a bit of a housing crisis on its hands at the moment. And now we've got the guy responsible for running the country, the same guy that can't let an election campaign go by without pointing to his humble public housing origin story. We've got that guy thinking it's a good idea to buy a multi-million-dollar mansion on the Central Coast. Probably don't want to be bringing up that backstory again when you're asked questions about your new home.
But a multi-million-dollar home is very different to a modest family home which would be going on a block like this. Do you think that's still a good look?
I have, of course, I am much better off. As a Prime Minister, I earn a good income. I understand that. I understand that I've been fortunate. But I also know what it's like to struggle.
You can't be serious.
My mum lived in the one public housing that she was born in for all of her 65 years. And I know what it's like, which is why I want to help all Australians into a home, whether it be public homes or private rentals or home ownership.
Come on, man. Yes, it's his money and yes, he can do what he wants with it, but at some point, surely you'd have a think about the position you're in and whether or not this is a good time to drop millions on a clifftop home, particularly given that something like this is definitely going to draw some media attention your way. Talk about tone deaf, it's almost like he's planning on becoming a one-term wonder and gearing up to walk off into the sunset. You might be thinking, does Albo actually have any advisors? Well yeah, he's got 11 of them, but he can't have run this past them surely. I bet they're ripping their hair out today. And yeah, I know Dutton has a massive portfolio, but do you know what? Dutton's not Prime Minister, at least not yet, but he may end up PM if Albo keeps lending him a helping hand. I mean, it looks like a nice place, but if climate change has its way, his new digs might just as likely end up sliding into the ocean. That'd put a dent in its price. But geez, Albo, talk about giving your critics unnecessary ammunition. For Labor, the current polling is not painting the rosiest of pictures. And for Labor, you'd think now would be the time to focus on discipline, make the most of the final 6 months, and do all you can to avoid own goals. You'd think now's not the time to be drawing focus on the PM's property portfolio, the buying and selling of multi-million-dollar properties, or how he's no doubt benefiting from the levers Labor seem far too nervous to touch to address the housing crisis. Capital gains tax concessions, for example. The reality is, when it comes to politicians and their property portfolios, Albo is a lightweight, but that doesn't really matter. It's all about perceptions and optics.
You just scored an own goal!